the setting for Leprechaun 3 is really brilliant, really effective. With regards to the rest of the film, though, it's not the strongest. Leprechaun 3 was released in 1995. It's directed by Brian Trenchard-Smith, written by David DuBos, and we have a cast including Warwick Davis as the Leprechaun. And I watched Leprechaun 2 a couple of days ago. I hadn't seen the first Leprechaun in a very long time, but I watched the second one recently, rather enjoyed it, so I decided to watch the third one. And the setting is absolutely fantastic, but the narrative it's not the best. The Leprechaun comes back to life in Vegas this time, and he goes after the wishing coins and obviously encounters various people, and the narrative itself is very slow. And we obviously do meet other characters, and while they're believable enough and well enough written and the performances are fine, they're just really, really boring for the most part. The characters we meet are not interesting. The only scenes that I think were genuinely enjoyable are the scenes with the Leprechaun. And there are fewer of those than I think there should be. So the narrative wasn't well balanced. We didn't get as much of the Leprechaun as I would have liked, but the Vegas setting is fabulous. It does work so well. I think they made a really great use of the space and the casinos and the characters they encounter as well. I won't spoil it, but there's a particularly fun encounter between the Leprechaun and a certain impersonator. I won't say any more than that, but it was quite interesting, quite fun. And it does work really well when we have the Leprechaun in Vegas. It's just everything else around it that isn't very good. The horror aspect is also very weak. I know it's meant to be a comedy horror, but for me, at least with the previous two, I feel like they were more horror with some comedic moments. I don't feel like they were comedy films, but rather horror with some lighter moments to break it up a bit and also to be quite jarring. If you have a film that's quite scary and then suddenly you find something funny, it can be quite unsettling in a very satisfying way. But with this one, I didn't really think any of it was funny, and the horror aspect was so weak as well. I would still call it a horror film, but it definitely wasn't very effective there either. So it's not great. Visually, it is satisfying. The narrative isn't brilliant. As a concept, I like it. I think it works well as a concept with the Leprechaun in Vegas, but the specifics of the plot just aren't very good. We do have some well-written performances, some good enough characters, but we needed more of the Leprechaun. I needed it to be darker or scarier. There are definitely a couple of moments that are quite dark and intimidating, and they work well, but they're so few and far between that I can't really praise that aspect very much. So credit where it's due. Occasionally it was quite good, but in general it could have been so much better. Do I recommend it? Yes, by all means. If you like the previous films, give it a go. The setting is fantastic, and when we get the Leprechaun in Vegas, that is brilliant. Those scenes are very well done. Not necessarily scary, but they are fun and interesting. But if you're not a fan of the other ones, I'd say only if you really are interested in the setting or maybe somebody in the cast, give it a go. It's certainly a watchable film, and I think I will watch the fourth one. I was going to commit to doing that, but I'm not sure actually. Maybe. We'll see. I might watch the fourth one. But for now, I'm happy enough to recommend Leprechaun 3 if you enjoyed the previous films.